Hi everybody, welcome to Deathless Showcase Options. The Alliance Wars one. It's a bit late, you know, it's been over a week, I apologise. I've had other stuff on, but I wanted to at least kind of like do a guide or a write-up on a list of counters that are going to be helpful for the Deathless Showcase. You're going to find information in the description. We'll also have pop-ups of images of champions like PNGs over the top of some game footage. So that is what's expected to be hitting you right now on the screens. So first of all, let's just get into the fact that we have got Sugar Pill and Decay. This is basically a lot easier. If this is going to be like this one, you're like, hey, great, I did it. Like next time to do it like an Alliance War Showcase, you're probably going to see it being a bit more difficult and a bit more frustrating. And of course, there's going to be other stuff that's going to be just generally annoying. There's obviously going to be like some really decent counters, and of course we're going to be playing into some of those, or at least showcasing some of those champions or options that are going to be very good to take on some of these. So first of all, we have got Spiral. Spiral has Hazard Shift, Incinerate, Bleed. Of course, it's great if you've got a champion that is 2 immunities in one. That's nice. That does a thing. But it may not be like how you set up your entire team, because you might be like, right, well, I want to have specific champions for this. If you've got a bleed immune champion, or if you've got an incinerate immune champion, you can rotate around the differences with using them, especially from a science perspective, which of course is a class advantage. Some of the go-to options, or the fun options for this particular fight, you're looking at Silk, Photon, Titania, Count Nefaria, Quicksilver, Luke Cage, and even Deathless Guillotine can do some work. I personally was a big fan of Photon, but I ended up using Titania, and I got a little bit frustrated. The kind of way that I approached this was like, I made a lot of mistakes, but I got through it and was able to one-shot. If I played better, then of course it would have been better, but the fact is there's been some nice one-shots, some really surprising one-shots as well. When we're looking at Punisher 2099, counters for this would be mainly anything you've got. If you've got a Cosmic Champion, that of course is going to be better, but Titania can do the job. Deathless Thanos can build on this path and do a lot of damage as well, depending on what your preference is. One of your team is probably going to take this down easy peasy. I didn't really find anything of great kind of like concern or worry, just as long as you play into getting Sugar Pill smacked off, because hey, you don't want to be seeing that was that unstoppable. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. So slow debuff champions for this, and of course playing into it is normally the best way to go. Those were kind of the ones that I kind of like played into with this one. So what's next? What is your choices of left or right? Let's start with right. In my opinion, right is the easiest. So on the right side of things, you have got yourself, first of all, starting off with Wong. The Wong fight, if you, again, like, the champion is going to have, like, Unstoppable, so, or Passive Unstoppable as part of, like, you know, his just general kit. So shutting down this champion is pretty easy with champions like Silk, Photon, Count Nefaria, Titania, Quicksilver, and Luke Cage. Those are the better options for this one. I didn't think there was anything that was overly scary or to worry about. Yes, you've got to watch out for Strike Counter Amplify. The attacker starts with X whatever charges. You just got to play into that. Again, really simple stuff. And I personally tried to have like at least a special attack available, so I could then run through when Encroaching Root comes out, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just look for when that comes down, 5-hit combo or mid 5-hit combo, SP1 or SP2, and then, you know, that helps out that. It does mean a lot of left-hand corner watching, but it's nothing really to worry about. Moving on to Viv Vision. So for Viv Vision, as long as you stay above a bar of power and just block SP1, you should be fine. And any champion really works here. Of course, Cosmic Champions being a class advantage and the better of the two when facing off against this. If we move on to Sentinel. Sentinel, again, same thing as Viv Vision when it comes to either using Serpent, Deathless Thanos, Photon, or Medusa. There's nothing really to worry about with this one. I think there could be a lot made from it. Yeah, okay, you do have whichever champion has the more unique buffs gains 12% of a bar of power. So you've got to be very careful on power rotation of Sentinel, or the extent of, special rotation that the champion's going to do. You could find yourself being slapped by an SP2 to the face and going to yourself, well, that's not good, is it? So yeah, do watch out for Rich Get Richer as well, with the extent of buffs. So it is a tough one, because each to their own with what they find frustrating about any individual fight. Nothing really to worry about if you're using Medusa for 2 robots on this path. Suppressing that, you suppress it, you're fine. It's good. But if you are going in a different direction, then it's going to be is what it is with that. Okay. So cosmics are nice with this. Ending on the path, before we get to Serpent, is going to be Ebony Maw, providing you don't hit the champion when he is approaching Falter. Then, of course, if you've got a buff immune champion, that could be helpful as well. But you've also got Hazard, Shift, Cold Snap, Bleed. This is where Photon, if you hit the champion when he's got bleed up, then that again is a suitable option. Luke Cage can be good here. Titania as well, of course, one of the best ones. I think I ended up using Silk and then not making sure not to hit on the when the champion is encroaching stun. It's approaching Falter. Sorry, approaching Falter. But yeah, those champions work. Count Nefaria works. Yeah, Titania, Quicksilver. The usual works with that. So that's that. Let's go over to the left-hand side. Left-hand side sees Domino. So Domino, you've got lots of counters for this one. I actually think Serpent's a really good underrated champion, but you've got to only hit on Cold Snap because the champion's Cold Snap immune. But you could also look to Sentinel, Deathless Thanos, Nimrod, Warlock, Deathless She-Hulk came out from some people that were like, yeah, use that. Bastion works, Deathless Vision works, Ironheart works, Serpent, and of course Serpent works as well for that, as I mentioned. But you've just got to be careful about how you rotate around. It's got to be Cold Snap only, not poison. But yeah, that nothing really to worry about. That's again easy peasy. For Negasonic Teenage Warhead, this one wasn't my best fight. Champions I would just recommend off the bat: Sentinel, Guardian, Shuri, Warlock, Deathless Vision, and Ironheart. I personally use Shuri for this one, yes, and it was actually pretty darn. I actually really enjoyed it. So I think choose who you feel might be the best kind of like option here. Keep champion to an SP1. That's that. Watch out for the evade elements of the champion, which I didn't do a very good job with. I really didn't. It just goes to prove a point that I need to play against champions a lot more and work less. No, practice more. I think practice makes perfect. Dazzler's a bit of a weird one because I didn't intercept as much as I should have done, and I made so many mistakes. I'm probably not even going to put the footage up because it was just embarrassing. I ended up I didn't get to revive, but I just didn't play well. I don't play against Dazzler that much, and that's on me. I need to do better with that one, but there's a lot of decent champions to recommend. Sentinel, Shuri, Warlock, Deathless Vision, Ironheart for this one as well. And then we've got Scream. Scream is Photon, Kushala, Titania, the leader, and Wiccan. I personally use Wiccan, and that worked very well. Of course, as part of this, you will get invulnerability as part of... it's one of these. It says that you get invulnerability... or you get as part of you get it doesn't matter if you get hit. And I made a mistake of pushing the champion to an SP3. Don't do that, by the way. Keep the champion to an SP1 if you can, but do watch out for power start because she'll get that, and also she powers snacks as well. So yes, not good. And also throwing special attacks going to be punishing for you, and you get a power sting as a result. So yeah, Photon, Kushala, Titania, the leader, Wiccan are some top recommendations for that. Moving on to Serpent. Serpent's got Ready for All Things, Good Advice boost, Attacker regeneration boost, missing in action whenever a buff on the defender expires. If the attacker lands a heavy or special attack within X seconds, it's faltered for 5 seconds. You just got to be careful about that. Maybe bring in a miss counter, but to be honest, as long as you play into it, and to be honest, I don't even really need to focus. Just using Wiccan was just an easy smash of this. Kushala smashes this as well. Fight or flight, keep distance unless you are looking to suppress or you're looking to punish whenever he gains an unstoppable. This is what we said about the idea of using Kushala. Spiral works like this, and also Purgatory. Again, we're punishing buffs, or we're kind of like allowing the champion to get buffs. It's beneficial for us to kind of like spank him. Symbiote Supreme, same situation. Very good here as well. People have used Onslaught. Not for me, but, you know, other people. Isophyne works here. America Chavez could work, but I haven't tested it out. Yeah, maybe some other counters are going to be better there. But I used Wiccan, and I felt that was fine. It was fine. I think I got a one-shot with it as well. Leading on to final champion, Thanos. You get to choose at least like who you want to take with a choice node, but there's a ton of options for this. Whether you use a Deathless Guillotine, Kushala, Deathless Thanos, against him, of course. Spider-Ham, Deathless She-Hulk, Chill, Silk, Hercules, and Revives. But I don't recommend Hercules. Deadpool X-Force, Titania, Hulk. I personally use Deathless Guillotine. I like the rotation. You've just got to make sure to at least not throw special attacks that much and use them as momentum in order to get the slow debuff. If you're able to raise the slow debuff as part of... where is it? It comes up at some point where somewhere it's like it says about the slow debuff. Sorry, I completely forgot. As part of decay, you get the slow debuff. You're able to counter as part of the kit that Thanos has, the Unstoppable. You're able to get the slow debuff, counter it, be aggressive as possible. I used an SP1 rotation, and yeah, just kind of like did that. Get the champion against the wall. But there's other champions that do that. You know, Silk can raise those slow debuffs. Any champion that raises it as part of their kit can be good. There's tons, you know. Chilf absolutely spanks him. So yeah, those are some options. Who did you use? Did you use anybody that's not on the list? I've done a write-up in the description if you want to go and check up that. And that is me out of it and done for today. Thanks for watching. I'm going to work on an EMCN, but it's late, so I don't know. This video took a lot longer than I wanted to, but it is what it is. It was what it was. Thanks for the support as always, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.